So guys, this is the first video of the psychology challenge series. Basically, this is a series where I go from break even to profitable, consistently profitable. This is our main goal. Consistently profitable. This is our main goal, and also um, it it's just me improving my psychology. I've never worked so much on it in respect of trading. I have done judo for like 10 years and I know how to work in psychology more or less. I have some experience and I want to get into the trading part of it. So I'm doing this first video is a review of the week one. Unfortunately, I haven't much time and I lost my PC for the past week, so I couldn't much trade and record the video. So I'm going to do it and review more deeply my journey. So the first trade was break even on Bitcoin. I was very satisfied with this trade as psychologically it was a very good trade. It was more like a day trade. It was a pretty narrow range. I tried it because it was high probably contextually speaking, because I think the weekly low was very have a high probability of get taken, so this was a distribution and I just risked it out. The execution was okay, should have been a little faster, so I entered here on a limit order on LPSI. So two things that I want to point out technically here is the stop loss. It shouldn't be in the Utah, because if we zoom out on the image, it's just all liquidity here, so I would put a stop loss over there or even over there. And also the take profit should have taken here. The RR was also almost the same. It was a good reversal point, as the for value gap here is very good for value gap. So price just tapped here and went higher. It happened to me on hype another time that price tapped near the Wyckoff or the take profit and just reversed, and now I'm going to take more care on that. So emotions, I was a bit nervous on the first retracement up, so I remember that I was a bit nervous, like here price seemed that was retracing, but then I just accept the probabilities mindset, so I just implement the mindset of a trader. The conclusion, more refined stop losses and the risk in powerful reversal points. The second trade was on the next day, a loss on CHAG on silver. The model was pretty high probability, like the liquidity was very good and the points here were wicks. So it has only one supply POI backed by the POC, but it shouldn't make a big reversal. So emotions, I felt a bit rushed and more confident because it was a pretty nice model, and I decided to enter before the reaction of the price of the POI. So this was the problem. I just entered when the price tapped here and I didn't see the reaction. I just assumed that price was reacting and got up, and that didn't happen. Price just disrespected the demand. I was saying supply, so demand POI, oh my god, demand POI, which is an error. We see how the price reacts on the POI, right? So I think the main fault here was not seeing the reaction to the demand POI. We should always see the reactions, and yeah, this was a market maker, like demand POI technically speaking, but we should always see, especially when we are entering a model, unless it is a very strong POI. So more cautious when entering on the phone, and wait always for POI's reactions. Like it's not immediate. Usually on higher time frame models, price just goes into the demand POI and then simply reverses. It's not like immediately, and yeah, I have to backtest more and practice my entries. So next trade that I took a loss on USD GPI, like we are less 2% this week until now. I shouldn't have taken this trade, honestly. Um, the model was solid, like BC, UTB, UTAL, and I just took it. Yet that was a pretty horrible entry, in my opinion. Like if I take it like a limit order here, it was okay, but here it was not the very good best entry. I didn't even enter on a break of structure. I entered like in the reaction of this supply, um, and price simply could reverse up and go here into the extreme supply. So like the model could play out, but was not the most high probability. It has like 1 2 3 lows here and some liquidity here. It's okay, but also the supply was back to the via the volume area high. It was a good conference, and yeah, it was okay. I shouldn't have taken that. There were better plays, but yeah, it's okay. I felt a bit rushed to enter, but indeed I tried to be patient. When price started to break structure and get into the stop loss, I didn't feel much fear. Hesitated to get off the trade, hoping price went a bit lower. Conclusion: less is more. Choose your better models, your best models. If you miss out on a high probability one, don't compensate or revenge trade on another less likely model. Like I had two models here. One was similar to that that I saw today, that I couldn't take it because I was launching when it confirmed. Like it was pre New York, and I was watching two models when I got into the BC after lunch. I think the model that was most high probability had played out, and I just saw that model also and take it, and I shouldn't have done that. Next trade, another loss on Shell. We are less 3%. Like yeah, pretty nice model. Like it was counter context on gold because here was the technical target of a higher time frame accumulation, but the model was pretty nice. So in terms of entry processes, technically very clean. The problem was here. I felt a bit scared with fear of lose when price broke structure inside my risk area. So here was my first entry, and it was a pretty good entry. I entered, I saw the reaction there, and I entered on a PC before going to the university, and I put a stop loss on the test. It was a pretty nice play, and when it had extreme demand here, and when I was going to the class, I just saw price dumping. It created like supply here. I think we can see like here it created supply, and I just exited the trade here, and I didn't wait for the reaction from the extreme demand, because I was thinking like I'm fucked. Price it's going to reverse, take the liquidity from the test and just go higher. So I exited out of fear of losing, and price just reversed back up. Yeah, so I think we can see the psychology here. I didn't stick to plan. I didn't follow my rules. If we have an extreme demand or extreme supply POI in our loss zone, we should wait, we should stick to the plan. And as I was accumulating like losses, we have loss in silver, loss in USD, GPI, break even Bitcoin. I was becoming more and more afraid, so I exited the trade. And actually, when I get home, I enter again on the LPS2. Um, the model was getting too extended, but the quality is very good. Like here, the domino effect on the structure, and I entered the break of structure, good entry, price dumped higher, and I thought that it was it. But actually, the price started reversing, leaving buy side liquidity, and in the weekly open, it dumped. I exited as the price didn't have any reaction for the demand, and it was a 8 lot minus 8 loss. So another loss at this moment. I think we are 3% down. And conclusion: wait always for extreme POI's reaction. You closed out of fear but didn't saw the reaction. So I have actually read The Disciplined Trader by Mark Douglas recently. At this moment, I think I was in the middle of the book, and two things here to apply is don't associate bad emotions with losing and mistakes, because you have to accept that the result you have in your trades, it's just a reflection of you, your mental state, and your skills. So the market is only showing to you what you have to improve. Like, it's normal, it's usual to have losses. It makes part of the process, and every consistent, profitable, disciplined trader had losses. You can't let them affect you more emotionally. So, and another thing is just stick to the plan with extreme POIs here. So, yeah. I pointed out here on the error log, I think so. It's in Portuguese, I think, yeah. So, don't give time to POI's reactions. It's one, like, I have seen that. On other models, I just entered here on the breakout structure. I didn't see that demand at the time. I remember this trade on Sol. This was a fucking banger trade, and I exited, I think, somewhere around here. This trade would give me like, I don't know, 10 or more, and I entered here on the demand. I didn't wait for the reaction. It was a model here. I didn't notice at the time also, so my psychology was fucked. So when I'm talking that we have to wait for the reaction, like, we are on 3 minutes time frame. So price, we have to wait just like 6-7 minutes, almost 10 minutes to see the reaction from the demand. And here is the gold trade that I was talking about. Price tapped, go up a bit, and I didn't wait for any reaction, any break. I just exited out of fear, and price just ended going up. So this was the gold trade, and the last and next trade was on pull. It was actually a win. Technically a very, very clean model. It has some errors, actually. So I first entered like here. I didn't saw the demand, and I felt a fucking rushed, and I screamed like fear of missing out, and I entered here. I exit immediately for a like 0.2 loss. So I started entering here again, I think with 0.5% of my prop account, because it was demand, and yeah. And it was an okay entry here, started entering here. I haven't entered here. and price just reversed up into the extreme supply, and I did just accept it, and I ended up entering here. Like I should have entered here exactly when price disrespected that demand, but I was not very focused on the charts. I was seeing something on Discord, and my trading view alert didn't play out. So yeah, I just entered here, and I mistaken myself because I was trading in my new Hydro Trader account, and I entered again here. So I could have pretty a lot, like I think 6, 7, 8 hour trade, but I ended up like making 4%, 3%. I took 75% profits here, and I ended up getting stopped out like in a FOMC meeting. Price just spiked because the context was pretty good. Like this was a distribution to make the third step of an accumulation. It at the moment it didn't play out, so we can have in the advanced range theory this more this lower range creating the higher range. We don't know. So emotions in terms of execution, it was okay. I entered the fear of missing out of 5% 0.5 on the supply POI. At least I waited for the reaction of the demand, but I was feared that price didn't catch up the supply, so I missed out the most refined draw. The first time executing on hybrid traders, so I messed up the position, but it makes part of learning. So conclusion, practice more your entries, wait more for your POI's reaction, don't have FOMO, more awareness, and focus on shorts. So I have to backtest more my entries. I think the problem is my entries, where to enter. I'm seeing this pattern. So this is pretty the video. I think it's like short. I didn't go deep into the trades. I didn't go one by one trade, but I think we can see the patterns. So stop loss, a better stop loss drill into more objective places. Also the risk near here, we saw that on hype trade. Wait for POI's reaction here, wait for POI's reaction here, also wait for POI reactions and stick to the plan. Also here, wait for POI's reaction, and just it's like the fear of missing out and the fear of lose. I think it's all related because I'm attached to the money and the RR and all of that. And until I unattached from it, so I'm working on improving my psychology, meditating every day, and I think I have to change my belief systems about money and how money is correlated to trading, to give like more to me, so this is pretty the video. We can go into my error log where I put my errors, so don't get time to POI's reaction because I felt too rushed, so and I forget that POIs like sometimes can it's like 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes to get a reaction. Don't stick to the plan. We have one sold. This was a fucking crazy one. XRP also. I exited here because I was afraid, the fear of losing, and price tapped into the extreme supply and just got down. Also confirmed here some accumulation model, so I should have exited here. Euro and AUD also, I remember those trades. Those were pretty nice trades that would have played out, and I just exited here because I was fearful. Price didn't break structure, it was only creating buy side liquidity, and I just exited. I should have only exited when price break up some structure and start dumping higher, and price in the weekly open just dumped lower, and I lose those two trades. So yeah, this was my first video. I have also here the journal. These are my current traits. I'm not in the best streak. I'm like 5. I don't know. My RR at the moment is pretty low. Like Bitcoin was less 0.3 with the fees, less 0.8 on the USD, less 1 on CHAG, less 1 on CHOW. So like here, minus 3% and 3% in Pol actually. So we have break even at the end of the week. We could have in a better position if we didn't take the USD GPY trade, and also if we saw the reaction here from the demand POI, or we just stick to the plan. And if we got a more refined entry here, we could be like 3% up at least, so not bad at all. That is the video. I hope you hope you learned a bit, and these are videos to share my journey. I think I'm just starting out, and my videos are not the best, and I'm not the best talking English and explaining myself, but I think with time and consistency and effort, it will be pretty nice, the results. So that's it.